All right, I am here with Jaxson Barlow, and we have a huge announcement. It is finally time for the man to make his mixed martial arts debut. Jaxson, some of the people just got to see you compete for the first time ever for SFS. You went out there, you did a kickboxing match. You were scheduled against a different opponent. He fell off, and then we were supposed to fight one of his teammates. That guy fell off, and then thank God there was another kid that was scheduled to fight on the card that lost his opponent. So you were able to compete. Talk a little bit at first about what it was like to get back out there to compete. How did you feel? Talk about your performance. And then, leading up to this mixed martial arts debut, how are you feeling? And let's start to talk about some of the information for the event.
Yeah, it was a lot of everything, a lot of nerves. I was confident, though, because I know this has been years in the making. It's been long overdue. I've been kickboxing for a while now, but due to a couple of injuries and whatnot, I had some time off. I had to overcome some things to get back in there. As far as, like, the guys falling out, it was frustrating the whole time. You're preparing mentally for something. You see a certain opponent, and next thing you know, without much notice, they're falling through. Now you're thinking, I have a new opponent I have to think about right now. So that was it was nerve-wracking, but at the same time, the whole thing was really exciting to be able to step back in a competitive ring again, to get my hands wrapped by a coach, to get back in there and just show off my skill set and showcase what I'm capable of doing. I know it's been long overdue, so I was excited to really get out there and go get my hand raised. As far as it goes for mixed martial arts, as this upcoming bout September 24th, it's more of the same thing. A lot of nerves. It's something new. I haven't competed in mixed martial arts yet, but it's exciting. I've been preparing for this for a long time. I've been grappling, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, and I have a fantastic team around me. So I'm more than confident in my ability to go out there and win. But again, it's a new experience, so it's going to be more or less the same thing. It's going to be a little bit of nerves and mostly excitement to go out there and compete.
And everybody knows you for your kickboxing, especially people in this building. I mean, you really understand the art. You love being a striker. You love the nuances and the subtle details that make elite striking. You're someone that looks at it like the art it is instead of just trying to, throw punches or make things happen. But man, I understand the grappling that you bring to the table, the wrestling, the wall work, the clinch fighting. And I'm really excited for other people to see that. Talking about your mixed martial arts debut, do you expect to only use your kickboxing out there, or do you?
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. I definitely have more of a kickboxing base, a striking base. I'm obsessed with kickboxing. I love kickboxing. It's what I got started in. I started when I was in Taekwondo, actually, when I was 11, and then I got away from it for a while, and then I fell in love with Muay Thai when I was 17. I've been studying striking for about 5 years now, but Scorpion Fighting System is really predominantly a grappling school. So since I was 18, since I've come here, I've been around a lot of masterminds in the field of grappling, wrestlers and jiu-jitsu, and I every day put in like hours of work of grappling specifically. So I absolutely am prepared for any asset it is in the mixed martial arts bout. I'm ready to grapple, absolutely.
So now, what weight are you going to be competing at? Because we've talked a little bit about 55, but if you make 55, you are absolutely gigantic 55er. Are you going for 55 in this first bout, or what weight is this initial MMA debut going to be at?
Yeah, so the initial bout we're doing September 24th will be a catch weight at 165. My previous bout, kickboxing, was 170, but although I did go down to 168 just to meet with a new opponent. Again, that was another weird thing in the road that we experienced. But this next bout will be at 165. Catch weight right down there between 170 and 155. I am a guy who can bounce kind of between that lightweight, welterweight spectrum. I'm in there. But in the future, I will be working towards going towards 155 lightweight. I'm dieting down to walk around in the 160s. So in the future, I will be going to 155. But for this bout, it's catch weight 165.
So the main event at this card, because I don't know if we said it on video yet, but this is the Motor City Casino in Detroit in September. The main event of this card is Taylor Moore, your teammate, against Jesse Bozzi for the 135 pro title. What is it like having your teammate headline the card? And I mean, really, this is a guy that you're probably going to do fight camp with. You guys are going to put in rounds for. What is that like, that you're making your amateur debut on a card with one of your teammates that is the pro main event, but yet he's one of your training partners?
It's awesome, man. I'm really fortunate. I'm in a really cool position here to be able to go through a camp preparing for my debut with someone who's fighting a main event title fight, especially a veteran like Taylor Moore, who's so experienced, such a well-respected guy in mixed martial arts, especially in the state of Michigan, such a legend in the state of Michigan, one of the best guys in the game right now. So being able to have that kind of energy in the gym right now where I'm preparing for my debut, he's preparing for a title fight, and to be able to feed in that kind of energy in the I can't wait to prepare for this fight and to go in there and take over Motor City together.
So one of the things I want to ask you, I ask all fighters before their first debut, is where does the fight in you come from? Because all fighters have this certain fire in their chest that drives them to being competitors. What is it for you?
I think, I don't know. I've always like I became obsessed with it when I was 17. I got into it. I got into it when I was 17. I really got into it for fitness, but then I had a coach and some teammates there tell me you should get into fighting. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm training with these guys. I started training with the fighters, but it got to the point where I was like, well, now I'm getting so far in this. How far can I go? And why not be the best that I can be? And I just fell in love with it. And not only that, but I've had certain people close to me tell me that that I was going to quit. That, and they tried to instill this doubt in me. And that's something I've always had, like, since I was little, is this weird doubt in me that I always had to overcome. And so just hearing that in the back of my head that I was going to quit, that I was never going to go anywhere with this, it kind of just lights a fire under my ass. And it just drives me up a wall, you know what I mean? So with the love that I already have of the technical side of mixed martial arts, that fire and hearing those words that I was going to quit and that I was never going to fight and that I wasn't really going to be anything in this, it drives me every day, man.
So you're chasing your potential. You're trying to see the man that you're capable of being, the man that someone looked you in the face and told you you don't have the potential of being this person. Whereas you said, bullshit, you know what you have within yourself and you understand what you're capable of. So you're chasing that potential.
Yeah, to me, I see certain people, they do it for kind of like clout. They do it for money. They do it maybe perhaps because they have anger issues. That's really not where this comes from for me. This is about, who can I be, not only as an athlete, but as a man, as a martial artist. What are the real limits I can go to? And, you get one shot at this life, and why not see how far I can go? Why not throw myself into it 100%?
Man, well, I am so incredibly excited for your debut. You've been a guy that for a long time I've been saying to you, Jaxson, listen to me, like you have something special, and as far as you want to go in this sport, I believe you'll go, and I will be at your back every step of the way. So one more time for the people, give us the date, give us the show, give us the opponent, and then, anyone that wants to follow you on social media, please shout out your social media. How do people follow you? And then, we'll wrap this thing up.
I'll be fighting at Motor City Casino for Clip. September 24th, Motor City Casino in Detroit, Michigan. Main event, Taylor Moore, my teammate. Shout out to Taylor Moore fighting for that title, that bantamweight title. If you want to follow me on social media, it's Jaxson.Barlow, and I'll be taking on Chris Barbar at 165.
Wonderful. Man, we'll wrap this thing up, and I cannot wait.
Thank you, sir.